Paul brothers have always had a complicated relationship. Growing up in the spotlight of YouTube, their lives have been documented for the world to see, and their journey has been anything but smooth. They've experienced years of intense rivalry, periods of close friendship, and everything in between. One constant through all this chaos has been their fierce competition with each other. Whether it was about views, subscribers, or money, they both wanted to outdo the other. This rivalry became one of the biggest drivers of their success. Today, Jake and Logan are known for far more than their YouTube careers. They've built successful businesses and become major figures in boxing and wrestling. Despite all their accomplishments, they still haven't managed to figure out their relationship. Jake seems to have matured and now wishes the best for Logan, but Logan remains fixated on being better than Jake. This obsession has often brought them into the spotlight for the wrong reasons. On August 8, 2023, Logan invited Jake onto an episode of Impulsive. Both had recently achieved significant victories in their respective sports, with Logan defeating Ricochet in the WWE, and Jake winning a boxing match against Nate Diaz. This should have been a celebratory moment for the brothers, but their interaction on the podcast suggested otherwise. About half an hour into the episode, Logan mentioned wanting to fight Tommy Fury to avenge Jake, to which Jake responded that it was his business to handle, alluding to his plans for a rematch with Tommy. Logan then claimed Jake had sniped the Nate Diaz fight from him, and that he had been lenient in giving Jake his opponents. "You definitely sniped the Nate Diaz fight for me, and I've been so lenient in giving you your opponents," Logan said. Jake, visibly irritated, countered that it wasn't Logan's place to give him opponents. Logan didn't back down, asserting, "I think I'm better than you, and I think Nate chose you for a reason." This remark struck a nerve with Jake, but rather than retreating, Logan doubled down, suggesting he went toe-to-toe with Floyd Mayweather, the greatest fighter ever, and that fighters were avoiding him. The episode continued with Logan talking up his boxing skills and undermining Jake's achievements, even suggesting he was a bigger pay-per-view draw than Jake, which was surprising given his significantly lesser experience in boxing. The exchange left many viewers siding with Jake, as evidenced by the supportive comments on the podcast. Logan's jealousy and attempts to belittle Jake's accomplishments were evident, with many feeling that Logan's ego had become toxic. Jake remained relatively calm, but was clearly hurt by Logan's words. 9 days later, Jake addressed the situation on his own podcast, explaining that he felt Logan harbored envy and jealousy towards him, which was perplexing because they should be on the same team. "It's him undermining me, being condescending and discrediting everything I do," Jake explained. He went on to express his frustration over Logan not respecting him, both as a brother and a professional. Jake's friends on the podcast also pointed out how Logan had been undermining him for years, and everyone seemed to see it except Jake himself. The dynamic was clear. Logan didn't have the same respect and love for Jake as Jake did for him, a sentiment that had apparently been present since their childhood. Jake recounted feeling deeply lonely growing up, often not allowed to hang out with Logan and his friends, and having to find companionship elsewhere. He believed Logan only began to respect him once he started finding success online. From there, their relationship turned into a constant competition, with both brothers obsessing over views, followers, and money. Things got so toxic that they even made diss tracks about each other, saying things they later regretted. The rivalry hit a particularly low point when Logan slept with Jake's then-girlfriend, Alyssa Violet. Despite knowing about Jake and Alyssa's intimate relationship, Logan chose to sleep with her while Jake was away on a snowboarding trip. This betrayal was a defining moment in their relationship and still gets brought up, highlighting the deep rift between them. Logan's behavior continued to be problematic. On the Impulsive podcast, he had a big issue with Jake's team not allowing him to bring Prime, his energy drink, into the arena for Jake's fight against Nate Diaz. The lead sponsor of the event was Celsius, a competitor to Prime, and it made perfect sense for Jake's team to prevent Logan from promoting Prime at the event. However, Logan expected to promote Prime without regard for the sponsorship deals in place. This entitlement was mirrored in a previous incident when Logan blurred the logo of Jake's betting company, Better, on a parachute during an event. Logan justified it by saying he was loyal to his own sponsors, revealing a double standard in how he viewed promotional opportunities. Logan's tendency to change his position based on what suits him best, without considering Jake, was evident. Jake has consistently tried to support Logan despite these issues. When Netflix released a documentary on Jake's life, Logan managed to make it about himself, inserting Prime everywhere and making condescending comments about Jake. This was supposed to be Jake's moment, but Logan overshadowed it, demonstrating a lack of respect and support for his brother. Jake's patience with Logan is impressive, given the numerous instances where Logan has put himself first. Perhaps one day, Logan will recognize his shortcomings and change his ways. But for now, the tension between the Paul brothers remains a prominent part of their complicated relationship.